should have had them kill bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Yo, it's heavy.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. On the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. We were actually somewhat on time today, except we had to skip the intro. Guys, if we were going to be on time, we had to skip the intro. I'm sorry, but what is going on, Candle Mafia? Thank you all for tuning in to today's live stream as Bitcoin continues to push to the upside, guys. If you remembered Friday's live stream, I believe the thumbnail was like 72K incoming question mark. Now, I will be the first person to tell you, please do not take anything on any thumbnails, whether it's mine or somebody else's, as any kind of like, not a financial advice. I'm just saying, like, don't take any legitimate information about a video from a thumbnail, guys. There is a technique to get clicks on thumbnails, so, and we use them as well. But I will say this, I do try to put my general bias in those actual thumbnails and that 72K incoming bias. Indeed, wound up being the truth here. So here we are, guys, sitting at about $72,000 for Bitcoin. Are we able to squeak up to some of these higher targets? Or are we more likely to see a little bit of a pullback to come in here, guys, as we have not really been seeing any like tangible pullbacks, being that, you know, Bitcoin has been in this crazy, just insane bullish environment, continuing to make these next legs to the upside. So I want to talk about those higher targets, how likely they are to get hit. Are we about to just see another target get hit to the upside? Potentially, but there are some things that we do want to keep an eye on just in case we do get a pullback. So we're going to talk about all the key levels. And before we jump into it, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure, which we are changing slightly if you haven't caught on. But smash up that like button, guys. The more likes we get, the more giveaways we get to do on Friday. And don't forget, we are going to be giving away 0.02 Bitcoin on Friday's live stream. If you, we'll talk about how to get in there, but if you guys want to get into, enter into that giveaway to win 0.02 Bitcoin, which may be worth $1 million at that point, you got to be in the dining room in our free Discord. But we'll go over, I'll kind of show you guys how to get in there a little bit later in the stream. But with all that being said, shout out to V-Slim, shout out to Eddie in the chat, Rob the Crypto Snob, one of our amazing mods, Captain Kirk in the chat. What is going on, Captain Kirk? Guys, show our mods some love. You know who they are. They're in the chat right now. Show them the love. We got Asher Dude in the chat, Crypto Anon. Speaking of amazing mods, what is going on, bro? Good to see you. Hey, Anon, XRP starting to get a move, guys. We are going to be taking a look at XRP as well, as XRP has gotten a move to the upside, breaking our key level of resistance, which could be opening up the door to a much, much higher XRP. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Dot as well. Yeah, Dot is starting to move as well. This is something we've been talking about on the live stream. Shout out to Elionics. Shout out to Billy Billy O'Neill. What is going on? Billy says, what's up, Frank? Shout out to you, man. Thank you for tuning in. We got Nazam. We got Captain Kirk. Shouting out Creighton C. Shout out to Creighton C. And with all that being said, guys, last but not least, we got Joseph Martinez and Harsh Joshi in the chat. Says, can you go over Gala? Yes, we can try to take a look at Gala a little bit deeper into the stream once we get that Bitcoin analysis out of the way. But guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and try to figure out what's coming next here on this crazy thing they call Bitcoin. Let's get into it. So here we are. Bada boom, bada bing, guys. On the Bitcoin chart now, obviously, let me take this off. Obviously, we have gotten a move to the upside overnight, guys. Fun fact, I actually took a scalp long position, not on Bitcoin yesterday, but basically it was, I took a scalp long on Ethereum. I was telling the premium Discord this earlier today. It jumped in. Oh, shout out to Golden for the 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Wait, hang on a second. He gifted 100. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. Gifting those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Shout out to Golden. If you just got access to that Golden emoji, guys, drop them in the chat right now. Shout out to Golden. He gives like a bazillion memberships every single day. So if you're in here, you're probably going to wind up getting a membership. Just make sure you have those the membership gifting enabled in your YouTube settings. If you don't have that enabled, it is disabled by default. You won't be able to get those gifts. But shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships, and shout out to everybody who just got one. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to shout out to Manaki. I don't know if that's misspelled monkey or Manaki. He's just like, this is crazy. But shout out to Golden, bro. We appreciate you so much. Show Golden some love in the chat. And let's continue on with this analysis, guys. And like I said, talking to the premium Discord earlier today, I did take a long on Ethereum from this wick low, as we did take this weekly naked point of control. I did not know this was going to be that big of a move. I was really just looking for this. I was just looking to scalp this back into the previous value area, up to the value area high, which at the time was sitting at about 39.55. And then we just wound up breaking through here and making another high. But let's go ahead and cover Bitcoin real quick, guys. Obviously, we did get that next move to the upside. Let me get rid of these levels. And as you guys know, our next key level to the upside that we were looking at was sitting between, let me pull it up here real quick. Actually, let me pull up the Bitstamp chart real quick. As you guys know, our next key level to the upside that we were looking at was sitting at about, why is there no T? What is going on here? Where is my... What is going on here? Hold up one second, guys. Bear with me. Let me pull up this Bitstamp chart really quick. But as you guys know, our next key level to the upside was sitting between these two fib levels, between about 71.80 and 72.607. This was our next target to the upside. I do not know why it is not popping up on the current chart right here. This is actually quite frustrating. Is it this? Here we go. Okay, so this was our next major zone of resistance, guys. Now, obviously, that Fibonacci level does sit just in between that level. Let me pull that up one more time. These two Fibonacci extension levels between about 71.8 and 72.6 was that next key target to the upside that we were looking at. However, obviously, we do have a little bit of a bigger range. Now, this bigger range or this bigger kind of zone as a higher target is based off not only spider lines, but also Fibonacci extension levels. But the most local level to the upside we were looking at was sitting right about here between that 72.607 and 71.807. And this was that first kind of beginning of resistance in that bigger zone to the upside, which, by the way, the next major target, guys, obviously is going to remain out with our spider lines above, sitting between about 75, depending on how quickly we get up here, guys. We've talked about this many times. Depending on how quickly we get up to this level, we will be looking for a potential $75,000 to $78,500 Bitcoin if we do come up and test these levels. So that is the next major zone to the upside. We also have this next target up here sitting at 81.6. This is another Fibonacci extension level. But these are the next stops to the upside. But obviously, our first kind of local zone where the resistance was going to start was sitting at this local Fibonacci extension level. And this is exactly where we are sitting right now, guys. And again, the way we found these targets, based off being that we don't have any price action when we look left, obviously, because we're at new all-time highs. So you look left, and there's just no candles to find, well, we're up here. There's no candles to pull any kind of resistance from, so we have to use like these imaginary levels of resistance, like a spider line or like a Fibonacci extension level, and this is how we came up with these targets. Now, there was also something else we were looking at on the chart on Friday night, anticipating a potential move to the upside, and one of those things was a daily green dot printing on Market Cipher B. Now, once we were able to print this green dot, this is where I was, to be honest with you, this was one of the reasons I was expecting higher prices to come in. It was this green dot. On Friday, we were actually coming up here and looking like we wanted to print a green dot. That was my thesis, was like, hey, if we print a green dot here on the daily, we could wind up seeing the weekend turn somewhat bullish, and we could break the yearly highs or the all-time highs and put in new all-time highs. However, we actually didn't get the green dot over the weekend. However, we still do not have that green dot printing just yet. However, we did get that push to the upside. Now, it wasn't just the green dot on the daily we were looking at. If you guys remember, we were also looking at the liquidation heat maps, understanding that we did and still do have some liquidity sitting up here at around $74,000. Now, this is, obviously going to be, between where we're at right now and our next major target, which is that spider line at around $75,000. The liquidity sitting between us, where we are now, and that level is likely, if you guys, if you do not understand how liquidations work, guys, let me actually pull up my face camera here really quickly so I can go ahead and log into High Block Capital without leaking my personal email. Not that I don't want the Mafia to absolutely blow up my email so we can hang out all the time, but it would get a little bit overbearing. But here we are. Let me just pull up High Block Capital really quickly for you guys. And, when we look here, you guys can see, right? Up here is kind of the next area where we have any. Actually, let me run this. Let me run a fresh. Let me refresh here. So obviously, let me come down to a 1 month time frame and see if I can break this down for you. So not only was it the daily green dot on Market Cipher B, but it was also the fact that we understood here that we had liquidity sitting between about $73,000 and about $75,000. Now, if we do come up and break into these liquidation levels, guys, I wish I could take these tags off, but I can't. It's just like blocking the whole screen. It's shout out to Tony D. If you're still here, I know you're doing a bunch of stuff. Just remind me tomorrow. We should reach out to Vinny from High Block Capital and see if there's a way, if they can I don't know if we have pull like that over there, but we should suggest that, because this drives me absolutely nuts, absolutely nuts. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So maybe we can see if there's anything they can do about that. But anyway, guys, if we do get another push up here and we take the current all-time high, you have to understand we do have that liquidity sitting above. Now, what happens when we hit these liquidation levels is that you're going to have not only people getting liquidated, but also people getting stopped out of their short positions, which will likely add buy pressure to the market, shooting us through this area of liquidations. And a lot of times you will see it happen very quickly. So we could potentially expect, a push into these liquidation levels, in my opinion, starting at about 73,200, 73,100. That's where you could see an accelerated kind of candle push to the upside, potentially targeting our next key levels of resistance. Again, sitting right here at about 75.4. And then we also have another level here. I don't have it on this exact chart, but about $73,000 is going to be another major level to look at. So, can we make it a 73K? We basically already have 79,000. I'm sorry, 70. The high of this candle was $72,910, right? So we're just like a little bit off of that $73,000 level. But obviously, that 73K level does stand there. So that is the next technical level of resistance that I'm looking at. But other than that, guys, I am going to be looking at the next major level, right? On the higher time frames, the next major zone of resistance really is sitting between these spider lines. And if we get through that, the next other major level other than the spider lines is going to be this Fibonacci extension level at 81,620. And let me actually turn this on to non-log. Yeah, and you can see right here at about $75,000 even, we have another non-logarithmic spider lines coming right through here, almost at $75,000 exactly, right? So if we do come up, maybe we bing-bong our head on that 73K level just a little bit, but if we get another move up, this is definitely going to be the major zone to be looking at. And that's where I will be looking at, those are the levels I will be looking at for some scalp short positions. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. I see green people. Shout out to Harry Potter. Yeah, shout out to Golden for gifting like a bazillion memberships today. Literally 5 minutes into the stream, already 100 new CandleMafia members. Let's get it. Smash that like button if you got a membership. By the way, guys, shout out to Golden, man. Absolutely insane. But let's continue on here. These are the next key levels to the upside. And again, guys, what was it? Hang on. Bear with me. Hang on one second. Let me pull up the YouTube studio real quick. Was it Friday's live stream? Yeah, you can't make this up. Literally Friday's live stream thumbnail. And again, I'm not saying put a lot of weight on my thumbnails, right? If it says 72K incoming on a thumbnail, it doesn't mean that 72K is guaranteed to come in. But obviously, if 72K incoming is on the thumbnail, it's because I think 72K is probably likely to come in. And literally, that was the thumbnail on Thursday, 72K incoming. And we're simply just seeing this play out, right? So I don't want to beat the dead horse of exactly why we were expecting this because we've been looking at it leading up until this point, and now we're just seeing it play out. So instead of wasting time, or not wasting time, but going back to try to figure out how we got here, let's do what we did on Friday, but for the price action coming up. So let's talk about where we think we can go to potentially see if our thumbnail today, which says more gains incoming ? Let's see if we can make that come true. And again, don't hold these thumbnails accountable for price targets or even the direction up or down. This is obviously just my opinion, but I mean, you can't. The only reason I bring this up is because it just keeps happening time and time again. We're bound to be wrong. Maybe, probably, soon, maybe today. But anyway, let's continue on here. No way! Shout out to Golden gifting another. Shout out to Golden. Golden is literally gonna run out of gifting. I don't know. YouTube limits people from gifting for some reason. Shout out to Golden. Thank you so much for that, bro. Literally, 150 memberships given by Golden this stream. Shout out to you, bro, and shout out to all the new CandleMafia members. Absolutely insane. Shout out to the Chris Smella says Frankie calls the shots. Shout out to you, bro. I don't want to get too. I don't want to talk about that too much because I feel like we'll jinx myself. I will be wrong at some point, guys. All right, let's see. Henry says, thank you for the super chat. He didn't say that. I did. Shout out to Henry. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, retracement after the halving briefly or nah. Shout out to Henry. Thank you for the super chat, man. I will say this. Definitely not impossible, right? Can we get a little bit of a pullback after the halving, we obviously are not having the we're not getting the pre-halving dump, at least as of this point, and we are running out of time, guys, to get this pre-halving dump. Now, obviously, there are a lot of things about this cycle that are starting to shape up somewhat differently than the previous cycles, but you can see here, we are not that far away from the halving, right? We are literally, let me go ahead and grab my measure tool here, if it lets me do it. There you go. Come on. Here we go. All right. So, yeah, we're 42 days from the halving, give or take. It is an estimation. So, we're about 40-something days from the halving, and we have not gotten that big halving dump yet. Are we going to get an accelerated, are we going to get an accelerated dump here before the halving just to get it in to keep that 4-year cycle going? Based off the way the 4-year cycle has been in the past, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like, nope, we got to keep that 4-year cycle going. But no, I'm not necessarily expecting any kind of a big dump to come in, at least as of right now. There's nothing on the chart screaming that we're going to go down right now. But, could we get a cool off before or after the halving? Definitely a possibility. I would honestly, a pullback at some point soon, guys, is going to be pretty likely, right? Like, even with all the bullish narratives, even with the Bitcoin ETF, the Bitcoin NTF, the Bitcoin ETF, all the bullish narratives that we see happening right now, even with all this stuff, the market has to correct at some point, right? Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen right this second, but I will be anticipating some kind of a pullback to come in. We're not just going to go up in a straight line forever, but let's just go ahead and continue on here. So, if we do continue up, I do think the most likely zone to play around with is literally this purple box right here, right? We've gotten into our next target from down here. We finally got the breakout of that volume profile, got the move up to our next target of resistance. We are starting to see a little bit of turbulence here. If we continue on and continue to get... if we wind up getting that next move up, going to really be looking to play within this box, right? And then those spider lines, this is basically where those spider lines are flying through, around that $75,000 to $78,000 level. But yeah, to the upside, these are the next key levels I'm looking at. And for the most part, still treating the shorts with care, guys. Actually did take a stab at a scalp short earlier today. Wound up getting stopped out as we got that move to the downside. And then we just wound up coming back up, and I did get stopped out of that position. Actually, hard to see where those actual candles... let me see. Where was that actual position taken? Yeah, I'm not gonna try to find the exact entry, but we did take a little bit of a scalp short here. And to be honest, yeah, it was right here. I took it here, was looking for that to bring us back down to the value area low. So let me take it here, right? So took the short here, looking to get back down to that value area low. I believe it was here. What time is this? Yeah, I believe this was it. Yeah. And then we got the move down, right? And then we just came right back out of that value area, came back up, stuck on top of the value area, and then we just I got stopped out by a couple dollars, right? Like, my stop loss was just above this swing high, and then we just, boop, stopped me out real quick, and then it wound up coming back down. So, no big deal. I do get stopped out of my positions, guys. Key here is I lost $230, and let me see if I have my, let me see if I can log into my Femex really quickly. But yeah, got stopped out for $250, and but the trades, the longs, are absolutely slapping right now. Obviously making up for that loss plus some. But anyway, there we go. Bada boom. Pull up the screen, and let me just pull up those trades real quick for you. But yeah, here we go. Come on, load. There we go. So here are the open trades, all still in all my long positions, guys. Everyone say, a lot of people will be like, "Hey, why are you holding that long for so long?" Well, first of all, it's a long. You're supposed to hold them for a long period of time. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. It's not really how it works. But obviously, there was no reason for me to close this short, right? We had already taken a little bit of profit, nothing really too crazy on both of these scalp longs that we put in the premium Discord. But there was no reason to close these trades. So we waited for those higher targets, 72K to get hit, and they obviously wound up bringing us more money. Matic long absolutely slapping. This was up over 12K earlier. So this one is absolutely paying out as well. Still there was still no reason to close this trade. Part of trading, guys, is not only understanding when to cut your losers, but also when to hold on to your winners, right? And it's not just like, that's why I always say it's not just about picking a direction up or down and then just taking a blind gamble on it. You have to be able to manage the trade, and not only that, manage it well. Not only the risk, but also when to not increase your risk, but when to prolong your risk, right? Because obviously you're at risk if you're in a trade, and if there's no reason to close that trade, you might as well keep that risk open for more potential upside if you think it's likely. So, if you watch the live streams, you've seen these positions develop over time, right? As I take profit, as we decide to hold them, not only as I decide to hold them, but as I speak about exactly why I decide to hold these positions. And that's the whole point of this live stream, is to educate you guys on exactly what I do that brings these profits so you guys can do it too, because you actually can. I promise you. I know trading can be frustrating, but you can do this too. There's nothing special about me. I like to think I'm special, but there's really nothing special about me. I'm a normal person. That's why I'm so passionate about trying to turn other people into profitable traders, because you don't need to be this math whiz or, I always say this, like algorithm genius. Like, you do not have to be this, right? You could just be a normal person. And if you understand the charts, especially using the simple techniques that we use, I try to make it as easy as possible to understand. You can do this too. And hopefully one day fire your boss because of it. So with all that being said, guys, I want to talk about some of the key levels to the downside that I'm going to be watching. Now, obviously, as we take a look here, we are starting to get some consolidation up here, right? So let me go ahead and hide this next zone of resistance. Bada boom, bada bing. And obviously, anytime you get some kind of consolidation like this, we can easily go ahead and pull a volume profile. So we are trading within this range, which is nice, right? Because now we have context. Are you going to be looking for shorts as we approach this value area low? Absolutely not. We would be looking for longs, actually. So with that being said, I also want to pull a fib here. Let's pull it from here to here. And, depending on where you pull this from, exactly what candle you pull this from, obviously your levels will vary. But this is kind of what I'm looking at. But if we get another move to the downside, you can see, there you go. Golden pocket sitting here at about 71,850. That is actually where we wound up getting a bounce from. But if we do wind up coming back down, guys, a level I would be aware of is not only this golden pocket value area low confluence, but also this 786 level sitting right here at about 71,000. 71,600, right? So maybe if we do wind up coming back down to the bottom of this range, and you are looking for potential scalp longs, not only up to the value area high, but potentially for another breakout to higher prices, potentially targeting that 73 to 75 to 78K level, this could be a zone to be looking at that, right? Or to be looking for those. Why is my undo button not working? Very interesting, guys. I think my keyboard is, keyboard's broken. Anyway, but yeah, this would be kind of the next local zone, right? Typical value area stuff. You go from the high, you deviate. This is where you want to look for shorts. This is part of the reason I was looking for a short up here earlier today. But then obviously did wind up getting stopped out by $1. A little bit frustrating, but no big deal. But, as we deviate above here, this could be a potential place to look for shorts. Again, being very, very, very cautious with the shorts, guys. Not looking for shorts down to zero. If I were kind of like really worried about this big move to the upside, trust me, I would be screaming, this thing's going to zero. I'm in a gigantic short. But as of right now, guys, kind of just scalping the lower time frames as well as just holding my longs from lower. If you feel like you're missing this move, be patient, right? Because, especially after a gigantic move like we've seen over the past few months, you don't want to wind up long in the top. So, just playing these lower time frames, holding the winners for longer, cutting the losses early, or very quickly, as I just mentioned with that the trade that I got stopped out of. But that is definitely going to be a local level to the downside that I'm looking at. And then also, this is local, right? These are for scalp trades, right? These are not for like your next big position or a buy the dip scenario. This is for just local trades, right? Low time frame trading. But if we come on over here to a higher time frame, you can see, guys, we are starting to form. And yes, I'm going to say it again. We're being very cautious with the shorts. However, we do have potential bearish divergences looking to form here on the 4-hour. Why do I bring this up if we're not taking them that seriously? And the simple fact is because this red dot on the 4-hour is really looking to print somewhat soon. So once that red dot winds up printing, not only will we have a 4-hour bearish divergence, money flow is kind of flat. I was going to say we'll also have money flow coming out, but it's really not coming out. It's kind of just flat here. Again, being very cautious with the shorts. Almost every single short I have taken so far has literally been expected to get stopped out. Obviously, I'm looking to lock in profits very soon and then move my stop loss to my entry as soon as possible. But, any short that I take, I'm like, I am not risking much with these shorts, right? I don't mean I'm not putting a lot of money on the trade. I mean that I am cutting the losses very soon. If they do wind up going red, I cut the losses very soon because I would rather take 4 or 5 small stabs at a short, right, with good risk management. I'd rather lose 4 or 5 of those trades in a row than take a gigantic shot and hope I'm shorting the top and then lose big. Right? Because like I said, and I brought this up last week too, because I got stopped out of a couple positions last week as well. The losses are absolutely minuscule compared to the wins, right? This is why I'm able to lose a bunch of trades in a row before eating into my profit or before losing profit, right? Like, just this trade here, which is my smallest amount of realized profit, I would literally need to lose like 3 of the trades that I lost today to eat up just the realized profit. And then I also have 2,600 unrealized, right? Now, obviously, this can go away until I take the profit. But the point is the losses have to be smaller than the wins. And by doing that, you have the freedom of being able to take like especially when you're in the green, you could take a stab at some of these shorts, right? And then if they play out in a big way, great. If they don't, you take a tiny, tiny loss. So if we do continue down here, guys, and we get a bigger move down, maybe the 4-hour bearish divergence is the thing that does it. But again, taking this with a grain of salt, especially with the daily green dot looking to print so soon here, right? So definitely still being careful with the short. I'm not saying I'm like looking for a massive short off this bear div, but it is worth taking a look at or at least paying attention to because although I may not be looking for a giant short here, it could still potentially give us a little bit of a cool off. Now, if we do get a bigger move to the downside, there are a couple of other levels that I'm looking at. And if you go ahead and pull your fib from the low to the high here, you can see you do actually have significant confluence on this previous value area high and this local golden pocket retracement. Now this is pulled to the current price. So this level is sitting between about 69.6 and 69.102. It's gonna be another level to keep an eye on as well, as if we do get that pullback, you may want to go back and test that previous value area high. And then obviously, once you start breaking down below that level, this is where you're going to be looking for a move to your POC and then a potential move down to your value area low. And then once you get to that value area low, you also have this previous, let me go ahead and zoom out on a higher time frame. You also have this little previous value area below us to give us context, right? Because not only would this be a place, obviously this value area high is going to be a place you're going to be looking for support. A little bada boom, bada bing, get stuck under here. You're going to look to go to the POC in the low of this range, right? And then once you lose this range, you're right at the value area high of a previous range, which obviously, if you can't get, let me actually put a level on here. If you can't get back above this value area high at 65,118 and you get stuck under here, this is where, I'm going to get rid of these levels here. These are all local. Once you get stuck under here, this is where you're looking for a bigger move to the downside, potentially bringing you, down to, This is kind of tricky, right? This area right now is a little bit tricky just because you have one value area here and then you have this local value area low in here. You can see we held this previous POC once before. This is where we took that long position at about 61,920. You're going to want to keep an eye on these levels as well as the grander value area. So value area low sitting at 60,100. And then I would also still keep an eye on this POC at 62,142, as well as the value area low at about 60,900. So I know that's a lot of levels, guys, but they are all significant in my own personal opinion. That is kind of what I would be looking at to the downside. If we get that pullback, main level, 69.6 to 69.1, and then you break below that, you're using this as your volume profile to look at for context. And then once you come back down to this value area high, you're looking for a potential bounce within the context of this volume profile, but then you also have the context of the volume profile below. Does that make sense? I know this sounds super confusing, likely to a lot of people, but just to simplify this, when you have volume profiles, guys, simply put, when you have a simple volume profile, right? Let's say you have, this is your volume profile, your value area low is here, your POC is in the middle, and your value area high is up top. When price gets to the high of these ranges, this is where you look for shorts, because if you get stuck under your value area high, it's more likely to go to your POC and your value area low. And just like that, once you get below that value area low, this is where you're looking for long positions to potentially get accepted back into your range and then fill that range all the way to the high. This is how we are able to call these positions or call these price movements like we do. And, anytime we have value areas, whether you have one value area you're looking at for shorts at the highs, longs at the lows, shorts at the highs, and then you only got it to the POC there. But you guys get the idea. If you watch this channel, you know about the volume profile. But when you have them stacked up next to each other like this, where you have one range here and then you have another range right below it, you're just using this for context, right? Because you could look, what is going on right now with this keyboard, guys? I might have to go buy a new keyboard like today. Once you lose this, and when they're stacked up next to each other like they are here, it's a little bit hard because you might think to yourself, well, if I'm down at the bottom of this range, should I be looking for longs? Or should I be looking for longs in context of this profile because we're deviating below, we expect to get accepted back in and go back to the high? Or, sorry guys, my keyboard is literally just broken right now. This is wild. Should you be looking for longs at this value area low, or should you be really cautious deviating from this low? Because as you deviate from this value area low, you're at the same time getting accepted back into the lower range. And the answer to this question, guys, is it's extremely difficult. There is no real telling, there has to be other analysis that goes on at these levels to determine what those moves are going to be. So in this particular scenario, it is a little bit difficult trying to figure out what to do here. But simply the way I would handle it is if we break down from here, I'd look for the bounce at the value area high. If we lose the 786, I'd look to come to the POC and the low. I will be looking for longs here, but I understand, right? I am looking for longs here, but I'm aware that, hey, if I don't get a strong long confirmation down here, I have to be careful because I can get sucked into the lower range. So it is a little bit of a sketchy situation, to be quite honest with you. But those are the key levels I'm looking at to the downside if we get a move down. Not only the moves to the downside, but also the next targets to the upside. Let me check in on chat real quick here. Bada boom, bada bing. Oh, shout out to Jason Casper dropping that $100 super chat. Shout out to Jason. Thank you for that, bro. I appreciate you. He says, no corrections, just up all the time. Shout out to you. You heard it here first, guys. Up only, up and to the right. No corrections, no pullbacks. Don't pull any fibs. Just look up. Shout out to Jason, bro. Thank you for that super chat, bro. And thank you for stopping by the Frank Candles live stream and hanging out with the Candle Mafia. Let's go. Bro, thank you so much, bro. Shout out to Jason. Always coming through and showing love. Jason, I'm going to come show some love on your stream, but this time I'm going to make sure it's not right at the end of your stream. Shout out to you, bro. But let's continue on here. We got some other super chats here. Shout out to Harry Potter. Said, respect, Frankie, Golden, and the fam. And hit that like button, guys. We're going for 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream. If we get 1,000 likes, I'll give away $100 in XRP. $200 in XRP. $200 in XRP if we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream. And speaking of XRP and the altcoins, guys, go ahead and spam your altcoins in the chat. Rob the Crypto Snob. Yo, shout out to Fabio, said skydiving ? Maybe we'll do some. We're gonna start doing fun stuff like that, guys. We may start. Yeah, there's the altcoins. Drop the altcoins. Rob the Crypto Snob will count out the votes and let us know what we're looking at. And I do want to check out XRP real quick. Speaking of XRP, just because, guys, this thing is finally moving. It's finally doing something, guys. Oh my God, XRP did something. This is big. Not really. Well, it could be. But shout out to Dave Digital. Said, Frankie Candles, I'm so lost. I'm a range trader. I don't know what to do when I don't have a range. Do I just wait? Shout out to Dave Digital, bro. This is an amazing question. Dave, number one, if you are, if you do not know, well, here's the thing. If I were looking at ranges, this is the range that I would be looking to trade. Specifically, the volume profile that I just showed earlier, value area high sitting at 72,648, value area low sitting at 71,765. So, Dave, simply put, this is the volume profile I would be trading right now. Now, this actual range, you could argue, is kind of coming down here. Wow, man, I guess I broke my keyboard. How did this happen? I've had this thing for many, many years. Such a sad day, guys. Bitcoin is ripping, and so is my keyboard. And I mean RIP, my keyboard. Anyway, technically you could actually go ahead and argue that, this is really the range that you're looking at. I'm Let me go ahead and get rid of this. Yeah. So, your range low is, in my opinion, really sitting down here at about 70,629. And then your high is right here, obviously. But yeah, so, you have your volume profile, Dave, obviously within here. Now, if you drop out of your volume profile and you get like a big move to the downside, you could look for potential a failed auction here or a fail and reclaim of this level here to potentially look for another push up. But simply put, Dave, I'd be looking at this volume profile, to be quite honest with you, if you're looking for the range. But to be honest, here's the thing too, guys. For me, there is not really a trade to be had in big vertical moves to the upside, right? Like, I am a range trader as well, for the most part, right? So I like to wait for the sideways consolidation. And although we do have this low time frame range, sometimes these ranges don't last long, right? Like, oftentimes, like, you just kind of come up, you'll wiggle sideways for a couple minutes, and then you just rip back to the upside. And I mean specifically when you're getting these moves, right? Like, you could even see if you come up to the daily, zoom out, right? Obviously, this looks like a vertical line up, but you can see you don't really spend much time going sideways before the next move up. Like even right here, sideways, bing bong, right to the upside. So, there is really no trade to be had when I am looking at price going straight up. Even if I have to sit out of trades, and if I am looking to trade on the big parabolic moves up, I'm waiting for low time frame ranges to form, and I'm trading these on the lower time frames. But for my major trades, guys, I am waiting for a lot lower, right? For a long, right? And then I'm not looking for shorts until we come up a little bit higher. But for me, sometimes I might sit on my hands for a couple of days, wait for price to work itself out, whether it starts ranging sideways here or maybe we come, oh man, this keyboard's broken. This keyboard's broken. What is going on? Stop it. Oh my God, that was scary, guys. Did that just undo all my TA? It did. That's really frustrating. Oh, baby, guys. I want to break this keyboard live now. But anyway, sometimes even if you have to wait a long time, right? Like, you might have to wait until price comes all the way down here. Maybe we start a big range, right? Maybe we start a larger range, and then you not only have to wait for price to come all the way back down, but you also have to wait for it to come back up. You have to wait for it to actually start to range. So for me, it's lower time frame trading until we wind up getting some kind of a significant range to form here. And especially when you're in a blast off move to the upside like we are right now, you got to be careful. Hey, if you're in the longs from the low of the previous ranges, you could simply sit on your hands and enjoy the gains that longs are going to bring you. So shout out to Dave. Hopefully that helps you out, brother. Shout out to DJ Mad. Says, break the keyboard live at the end. Shout out to DJ Mad. Maybe. I already took out my mouse, guys. But my mouse fought back, guys. I did not leave unscathed on my battle with my mouse. Definitely decimated it. But it did. It shed blood, guys. It made me bleed. I'm not gonna lie. Apparently, they fill mice. Like, electronics are basically just filled with razor blades. Apparently. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Ash. Says, 1,000 likes to get him to break it live. Do it. Shout out to Ash. You guys are funny, man. But let's continue on here. And let's take a look at XRP, because obviously XRP is starting to get a little bit of a move here. And as you guys know, XRP has been quite boring recently, right? It's been going sideways. It hasn't really been too exciting. And this is another scenario where we have two volume profiles smashed up against each other, like you see right here, right? So, oh no, don't undo a million times again. Okay, it's such a habit to just hit Control Z. And apparently that button sticks now. Let me just pop off that control button. Okay. All right. I actually think this keyboard might be broken due to side effects of me breaking my mouse. Keyboard got caught in the crossfire. Anyway, let's continue on. But yeah, we do have these two volume profiles slammed up against each other like this, and this did add a little bit of fogginess to the water, right, or a little bit of murkiness, because as you guys know, our key level of resistance on XRP forever has been between 62 and 63 cents, because obviously the previous value area low of this old range that we have up here, that value area low is sitting at about 63 cents, where we could, once we break that level and flip it to support, that's where we're expecting our next big move to the upside, potentially targeting that POC sitting at about 83 cents. And what did we see happen? Well, if I just remove this volume profile, actually, Let me just go ahead and hide this really quick. Bada boom, not that one. Let's go here and go ahead and hide these. Simply put, we were stuck under this range, right? Bada boom. Came to the POC, rejection, hit our head over here, rejection. Now we're back above again, but this is the doorway to higher prices because if we are able to stay above this value area low, the next likely place for price to go is that point of control. Once you get above that POC, looking to get a move to that previous value area high, sitting at about $1.29. So this is exactly what we wanted to see on XRP, and obviously we were using this previous range from below as a... let me actually bring that back up real quick. We were using this previous value area from below as context to potentially find out, how we could trade this asset while we're waiting to break above that value area low. And if you waited for a deviation below your volume profile here and you looked for bullish confirmations, which you did wind up getting here with a bullish divergence on the daily, let me go ahead and just show that because this is... This was a pretty nice signal that you were going to bottom out here locally with lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves, giving you that bullish divergence or that, kind of pinch point when you have the lower prices. These lines for divergences, guys, you just always want to remember these lines, if you were to extend them, would eventually cross, right? That's how you know it's a bullish divergence. Lower lows on price, higher lows on your momentum waves, and you also had your money flow locally come up here and over here as well, which could have been another sign that you were likely to come back up into your range. But what happens here, right? You get your daily bullish divergence. You have your snake eyes on market cipher B. That's 2 double green dots, the little ones on the momentum waves as well as the big ones down below. And then, so bullish divergence, you got your snake eyes, you had money flow coming up, and you were at the value area low, deviating below that key level, letting you know that that's where you should be looking for longs. And then what is the plan from there? Simply put, you're going to be looking for long positions. You want... If you were to enter your long, like say at the value area low or just down or just below it, where you put that div in, you're expecting price to get above your value area, get above that value area low, flip this level to support, and then the next likely place for price to go is that POC and value area high. And now we stuck support on this high, and then we broke above this value area high, which was also the value area low of the more macro range, which is the doorway to higher prices. And what happened to price? Bing bong, right to the upside. And I want you guys to see that. 63 cents. That was the key level to break before we got a big move to the upside. And what happened? You get that big green candle right on that break of 63 cents. Boom. Bing bong. So next key target to the upside, guys, as long as we're able, I am going to hide the local range here because now we are technically not in this anymore. And we are now in the larger volume profile. So as long as we're able to hold this key support at 62 to 63 cents, next major target or next likely place for price to go is going to be that point of control at about 83 cents. And there you go. That's what I'd be looking at, right? Like you're just in terms of this volume profile now. Once you get above that POC, that's where you're looking for $1.28, $1.29 for XRP. And if we take a look here, daily green dot confirmed. You do want to watch this daily bear div, right? So at some point, are you going to correct maybe and come test that value area low again? Potentially, right? I'm not FOMOing into any positions. But if we come take a look at some of these higher time frames, like the weekly, you can see money flow is locally coming up here. VWAP, nothing really to take away from this VWAP. It's kind of just like frayed to the upside. It's kind of coming up, down, up, down, up, down, but it's generally pointing straight up. So that's obviously a good sign. Nothing really to take away from that. 4-hour red dot potentially looking to print. But again, right now, I'd be looking at key levels, 62 to 63 cents. Hold above that. I'm looking up towards 83 cents for XRP. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. He said, you want to break the keyboard? It's already broken. That's the problem. You leave Mrs. Candles alone in the office again? She's like a gremlin. The fan, the mouse, the keyboard, the chair. Trades vanish. Is Mrs. Shout out to Creighton C. Did you just solve all of the mysteries of the Frankie Candles studio? By the way, is my camera still on? Good Lord, guys. I'm not going to lie, guys. You guys know I'm not a stranger to throwing money on this stream. And I will say, on Friday's live stream, as I turn the fan on for the camera, guys, that's what I'm doing right now. There we go. But yeah, as I threw, if you guys stuck around to the end of the live stream on Friday, I showed you guys my hair disorder. I'm not balding, but I do grow money on my head sometimes. And all that money flew all over the place. This whole studio was covered in money. I throw it in the air. The fan throws it everywhere. And I came into the studio today, and Mrs. Candles, not only did she pick up all of the monies, but she separated the hungies from the 20s. What a sweetheart. It really is it's a pain. But shout out to Mrs. Candle. She may ruin the camera. She may close trades. She may break the mouse, break the keyboard. But hey, she picks up the money on the floor. So shout out to Mrs. Candles. I'm sure she's stuffing her pockets too. But anyway, I'm just kidding, guys. Shout out to Bina. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you. He said, hello. Sorry I'm late. My son just gave me $10,000 to buy Bitcoin, and my wife agreed. Can you believe it? Shout out to Bina. Let's go. Obviously not financial advice, but you gotta get you gotta get excited when new people are getting into crypto. It is super exciting. So shout out to you, bro. Thank you for that super chat. And shout out to your son for getting into crypto. This is that's awesome. Good to hear. Shout out to Bina. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for letting us know that good news. Let's see. Shout out to Amira. Says, let me hear another bing bong. Shout out to you. They said, I love your energy. Shout out to Amira. I love your energy. Thanks for matching my energy in this live stream. But with all that being said, Tony D said Mrs. Candles is a national treasure. I'm not going to lie, guys. I am super lucky. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Mrs. Candles is like the greatest, not girlfriend on earth. She is. She's like one of the greatest. She is the greatest human being on earth. She really is. And I'm not under duress right now. She's not like off camera right now with a knife. That is the truth. But let's continue on, guys. We took a look at XRP. Let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. Speaking of Mrs. Candles, took that trade last night on ETH from this low here, looking for just a local scalp to see if I can make money while we watched a movie. I was just like, you know what? This looks like a pretty nice setup. Let me hop in here. And then I got paid last night to watch a movie, which was nice. I actually didn't watch the movie. I fell asleep in the first 5 minutes. So technically, I got paid to sleep. And you guys can learn this skill too. I'm not saying this to brag or look cool or fancy. The reason I say this, guys, is because you can do this too. Now, it's not as easy as just laying on your back somewhere and just like clicking a buy button and making a ton of money. Obviously, there was a lot of work that went into trying to find the setup, look for the confirmations, and obviously I used good risk management. And there was a chance I could have gotten stopped out. But just understand that like at some point, guys, you will, the goal would be to get to a point, and this isn't all the time. I just happen to be sitting at my charts. I got into the trade. I set my TP, set my stop loss, and then I was like, Mrs. Candle's like, can we watch a movie? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I checked my phone afterwards, and I was like, oh, I'm up. And then we woke up today, and we were like, oh my God, it kept going up. But anyway, I'm fully out of this position. My TP was at the top of this value area high. And let me break this down real quick, guys, because I never know if I'm just giving too much sauce away. But you know what? It's for the community. It's for the mafia. Just to be clear here, guys, there was nothing fancy about this long, right? It's not because I have some secret information that I only keep to myself to get into these trades. It's the stuff we teach on the live stream for free every single weekday right here at 5:45. We were at the value area low. We deviated below the weekly naked point of control and the value area low. We got a nice little push to the downside. Got some nice confirmations on the order flow, as well as some local bullish divergences, guys. Like, you don't necessarily need exo charts, right? You don't necessarily need the most advanced indicators, right? Now, I obviously love Market Cipher. I love Lux Algo. These are very, very important to my analysis. However, simply put here, you got your lower low on your price action. You got your higher low on your momentum waves, giving you a bullish divergence here on the 10-minute, on the 12-minute, same deal, and on your 15-minute. Nice little bullish divergence, not only a bull div, but as you deviated below your range. This is where you look for longs. Why? Because when you deviate outside of your volume profile, this is where you're looking for longs, because it is simply letting you know that buyers and sellers agree that this is a fair price for Ethereum, right? When you deviate below that range, you can look at this as an undervalued asset. And if you know Ethereum, for easy math, let's say Ethereum typically sells for $1, right? And then it's on sale down here for 50 cents. well, what if I buy a bunch of these at 50 cents and then wait for it to come back into the place it's likely to go, which is into the fair value, the agreed upon fair price, and then I could just sell it at its fair value because I picked it up for cheap and make a profit. This is exactly how trading works. It's simply buying and selling at discounts and premiums, right? So simple strategy to get into this long, right? It's not like I'm some like savant over here. I mean, some people would call me a savant. I'd call myself a savant in sometimes, some cases. But this is not something that anybody can't do, right? You guys can do this too. If this is your third time watching a live stream, you're likely not going to be able to do this in the first day, week, month, year, maybe. But when you study the charts enough and you learn the strategies, guys, it's very simple, especially with the volume profiles, to get in and out of these fire trades and with just clear direction. Because once you get that div, the confirmation to get into the long below the range, you simply wait for a reclaim of the value area low. Then you have two clear targets: POC, value area high, right? And then anything above this value area high is extra profit. Unfortunately, like I said, this was a set and forget trade for me. I actually took my final profit at the value area high here. So I didn't get the extra gains. But simply put, would I have rather, hung out in This Is Candles and not made any money? No. So there you go. Very, very simple trade setup there. And it was just kind of so cookie cutter that I just kind of wanted to share it with you guys. But as we look higher here, obviously we were looking for Ethereum to potentially follow suit on Bitcoin, targeting our next major levels of resistance, which is obviously sitting right here, where we not only had our 786. If you guys remember I believe Friday's live stream, we were saying, well, hey, we knew once we got above our macro golden pocket, let me come up to a higher time frame. We knew that once we got above our macro golden pocket here, we knew it was very likely to get that move up to our 786. But one of the reasons we were still looking for upside on Ethereum, even though we got so close to our 786, you guys will remember me saying, although we did technically, get real close to that 786, it's not very often that you front run a 786 like this, especially a macro 786, without actually coming up and touching the level. And obviously we did get a cool off first, but what happened? We eventually came up and hit the level, and then we also, obviously we came up and hit the level, and not only were we looking for that because we have the golden pocket here, and once you get above that golden pocket, you're looking for that next fib level of the 786. But if we zoom out a little bit here, we also had the POC of this range from the top of the bull market over here sitting at about $4,070, right? And that is essentially where we are getting our resistance from right now. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Frankie, what happens if Ethereum keeps going? What if these ETF rumors keep coming through and it just gets more bullish and more bullish for Ethereum and we keep going up? Simply put, guys, and again, I will say this. We put out a video a few months ago or a couple months ago as we were tapping on these lower levels, knocking on the door to the higher prices. Why is it knocking on the door to higher prices down here? Because this is a massive value area. And we know that once you flip that value area low, you're more likely to go to the POC and then fill to the value area high. And we put out a video a couple of months ago looking at this exact thing potentially happening, and it has literally happened almost exactly as we would have loved it to. Beautiful move on Ethereum. And in that video, we also went over some other targets, which, obviously was that 786. We also have two levels here that I'm keeping an eye on. Weekly naked point of control at $4,600. We looked at this on Friday as well. These weekly naked points of controls do act as magnets for price. So this could continue to slowly suck price up towards it. So weekly naked point of control is target, the next target to the upside. But more locally, we actually have the value area high of that local range from the top of the bull market sitting right here at about 43.95, right? So actually, let me go ahead and highlight this so it's a little bit easier to digest for everybody. Let me pull this over, make this neutral, and then I will move value area low right here, value area high, POC. So let me just label these levels really quickly. This is your value area high. This is your POC. Bada boom. This is your value area low. So now if we zoom into the lower time frames, you now have a whole lot of context, right? Now, another reason why I was looking for that long position last night, which again, I am out of completely now, but once we came down to this value area low, not only was it a local value area low, but I also knew that we were coming down to test the macro value area low, right? The larger value area. So not only was I using Not only was I using this range as context, but also the bigger range as context, right? So it would have been sound, in my opinion, to look for a long at the local range low, but we had the backup of knowing that this was a major, major, major key level to hold, because if we held this level, we knew we could easily make it to that POC. Does that make sense to everybody? There is a method to this madness, right? And now it's very hard to explain. It's hard to explain in detail simply because it's not a simple concept, right? It's more simple than most people think. But it's a very advanced technique. It's very complicated. There's a lot of levels. There's a lot of numbers. What's that line from Wolf of Wall Street? It's a lot of numbers, a lot of high pitch, a lot of right in your ear. If you guys ever seen Wolf of Wall Street, you'll know how he said to handle with that stress. But anyway, again, not only would you look to come to the value area high, but there is reason to look above, because not only would you look to go from this low to this high, but in the grander scheme of things, if you break out of this local range, you're really just looking to go to the POC of the larger range, if that makes sense. But as we sit here, simply put, guys, that's local. Those are local levels. Really, what I'd be expecting here is if we're able to pop above this point of control, simply looking to get a move up to your value area high, which again is probably just going to be a pit stop on the journey to that weekly naked point of control at $5,600, right? Now, this is obviously all dependent on everything remaining bullish. This is assuming no black swans come in to dump the market. So it's not like just because we're seeing all these targets get hit, guys, I want to be very clear. This does not mean that every target I look at will get hit, right? This is all under the assumption that things remain bullish, things remain good, right? This is smooth sailing right now. We haven't had any curveballs thrown at us. We haven't had a March 2020 event happen, at least yet. If you watch the news, right, or you hear anybody talk about the news, there are some sketchy things going on. Shout out to COQ. Shout out to Nizam. Yeah, we'll take a look at COQ. It's absolutely flying. It's like one of the few meme coins that I bought that didn't go to zero. But anyway, we will take a look at that in a second. But yeah, simply put here, guys, for Ethereum, obviously, as long as Bitcoin continues to, for the most part, stay alive here, we will be looking for the next major targets to be about 43.95 all the way up to 4,600 between the value area high and weekly naked point of control. And that's what I'd look at for Ethereum. Now, obviously, locally, you could look for potential pullbacks off this 4-hour red dot. But for the most part, it's looking the same as everything else, or at least very similar to Bitcoin. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. COQ stays up. Shout out to Crypto Crabman. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. Shout out to Bruno CF said, good night, Frankie. Telling all my friends about your wonderful TA. Adam, just playing with my feelings. Absolutely, Bruno. We'll take a look at Adam as well. Adam just lagging behind things. I do think this thing will pump. It could be coming up soon. But yeah, shout out to, hey, Bruno, don't tell them you're getting the TA from me, bro. Just play it off, dude. Just play it off. Just be like, guys, look at my analysis. Check this out. I was looking at 72K, and look what happened. It came. Just take the credit, bro. Do it. Shout out to Bruno. I appreciate you for being here, bro. But let's continue on here. Shout out to Josh. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Says, can you take a look at HBAR and Algo charts? Yes, I could try to take a look at HBAR and Algo. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Oh, Crypto Billy in the chat. What is going on, bro? Good to see you. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Eric Bonici. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. Eric Bonici says, finally made a decent trade. Longed XRP yesterday. Moved my stop loss up too high and got closed out. Thanks for teaching me to fish, brother. Bing bong. Shout out to Eric Bonici. Let's go, bro. So it sounds like you got stopped out in profit. Bro, if I could guarantee, dude, get stopped out in profit. It seems like you did take that as a W. But yeah, I know a lot of people sometimes get discouraged. They're like, I moved my stop loss. I got stopped out in profit. Take it as a win. I know it's hard to see price continue up without you, but please understand, guys, this is a win. If you start, and Eric, I'm not saying you feel like this, but I'm just using this as an example. If you get stopped out in profit, guys, and you see price continue the way you thought it was going to go, but you made money, you have to accept that as a win, because if you start looking at that as a loss, or it starts to hurt you emotionally because you're watching price take off without you, this is literally going to build the worst trading habits you could possibly have. And it's going to wind up ruining you and prolonging your road to financial freedom through trading, right? This is the number one thing that I struggled with. This is the thing that almost made me not pursue this anymore. It's because I couldn't get that under control, right? I would just get greedy, and I would feel bad about watching price run without me. And because of that, I stopped setting my stop losses at appropriate levels. And when price approached my stop loss, I would just pull it out, right? I'd take even if it was in profit, I'd pull my stop loss, and then price would go down, and eventually I'd get to break even. And instead of taking that break even as not a win, but like a null trade, I'd let it go into the red. And I'd be like, oh, it'll go back up. And then I would go into the red. I'd get absolutely wrecked. So trust me, guys, I've been there. Anything you're struggling with, I have gone through and probably messed up worse than you. I'm pretty stubborn, right? So all the problems I had, I was neck deep in them, not in a rush to fix them. I was just like a victim of my own mistakes and my own negligence and lack of self-awareness. Self-awareness is one of the biggest things that can help you in your trading, because when it comes to trading, guys, you have to blame everything on yourself, even if it's not your problem, right? Black Swan event got you wrecked. Weren't expecting that Black Swan event to happen. Couldn't have predicted it, but it's still your fault because you could have been prepared for a potential Black Swan event, right? You could have set a stop loss, right? So if you always blame it on yourself, you will always have the wherewithal to correct your mistakes. Unlike me, I blamed everything else but me. And it wasn't until I started blaming myself for everything that I started actually seeing a difference. So let's continue on here, guys. We took a look at XRP. We took a look at Ethereum. Let's take a quick look at HBAR. And shout out to Byte Wizard, said, can you chart Byte about to make a new all-time high? It depends. Shout out to, Byte Wizard. Yeah, it's let me see. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. I was going to say I can't look at it because can't look at it. Is this a meme coin? Yeah, it looks like a meme coin. Unfortunately, I can't do the meme coins, guys. The new meme coins, right? Like something like Doge. Obviously, we just called this move on Doge from the value area high all the way up to 18 cents, almost to the dollar we were looking for this. But this has actual price action to analyze. This has history to analyze. The market cipher B has information. So the new meme coins, guys, are like almost impossible to do TA on. I can only do like hyper local TA on these. So I apologize, brother. But it is what it is. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat. Said you are missing super chat. Scroll back. Shout out to Golden. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to Bitcoin Bow Hunter. Is that Crypto Bow Hunter? Bitcoin Bow Hunter. Shout out to you, bro. Said, could you take a look at PELF? Thanks, brother. You're the GOAT. It's a new hilarious Solana meme. Shout out to Bitcoin Bow Hunter. I mean, again, we could try to take a look, but this stuff is, maybe I can't because my keyboard is broken. There we go. PELF. Is it PELF? PELF. Okay. Maybe I can't. I'm going to have to go on like Dex Tools or something to look at these. So unfortunately, I won't be able to look at all the meme coins, guys. I apologize. Shout out to Golden. I missed Golden's super chat. Out of everybody to miss, shout out to Golden. He said, hey, newcomers, the point of this channel is for you to learn how to do your own TA, get TradingView, follow along, take notes, and learn how to do it yourself. Soon you will be doing your own TA on your own free time. Shout out to Golden. Absolutely 100%. My goal here is to teach you how to fish, not keep you a slave to my YouTube channel and gatekeep, to keep you guys clicking my videos. I want you guys to hang out with me, obviously, but I like to think if I help you make money and understand the charts and you start making money on your own, you'll still want to hang out with us here on the live stream. So shout out to Golden. Absolutely 100% correct, bro. Let's see. Okay, so let's continue on here, guys. Let me just make sure. I believe, yes, I believe that is all the super chats. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Is Rob here today? Or did I just like miss his? I may have just missed his altcoins, but maybe if Rob is not here, I'm just gonna go through some of these altcoins real quick. Let's take a look at HBAR. If I can get this keyboard to work. There we go. Bada boom. Take a look at the MEXC chart. Nah, I don't want to look at the MEXC chart. Let's check the Bybit chart. Okay. So, on HBAR, guys, simply put, I mean, you literally cannot make this up. So, on HBAR, it's just on its way to do what we want it to do, essentially. If we zoom in here, we did have this little local volume profile. that we were looking at. This was like the most recent thing I believe we were looking at. And, you broke into this. You got rejected off the high, came back, deviation from the high, lost it, tested the previous value area, bounced off it, flew through the range. And basically, this was all to begin or continue the journey up to this, somewhat macro golden pocket, which we have since come, touched, and rejected from. So as of right now, your next major target to the upside, not only for H-bar, would be this previous value area low. Let me actually label this value area low, POC, value area high. Tony D with the poll. I just saw this pop up. Smash that like button below the video if you want a $75,000 to $80,000 Bitcoin before the halving. And the number one answer is, I already smashed it. Am I rich? Shout out to you guys. But continuing on here, guys, next major target, in my opinion, technically would be the 786 sitting at about 16.5 cents. Once you get above that 786, I'd be looking to attack that value area low, flip that value area low, looking for that whole range to fill. And to be quite honest with you guys, we've been looking at H-bar. There are a lot of coins, guys, that were stuck in their bear market ranges, right? Which essentially is where this range was originally, right? You have your big old dump in the bear market. Whee! Oh my God, crypto's dead, crypto's dead, crypto's dead, right? And then you get this bear market range. And typically, once you get a break out of these ranges, this is where you see the altcoins go on the big move, right? This is exactly what happened to Doge. Bear market range, flip this to support, boom, big move to the previous value area low. If we were to see H-bar do something similar to this, on H-bar, right, basically, you have your bear market range, you flip it to support, this is where the big move starts, and it has. But the real target here, in my opinion, will be this value area low. Now, this isn't, let me pull up a chart with, oh my God, what happened to this keyboard? Why does it only work sometimes? That's so strange. But let me go ahead and see if I could pull up a chart with a little bit more price history. Definitely not this. Let's see. What's BitGet look like? Nope. H-bar bit. Oh, God. This is going to be brutal, guys. Okay. Let's see. Big X chart. Okay. So, yeah, for the most part, guys, the next major target on H-bar is going to be this value area low sitting at 19 cents. We break this, we could easily get to the 27 cent value area high, and then once we break above that, we could find the next targets. But as of right now, 786 value area low are the two next major targets once we break above that macro golden pocket. And if we get a cool off from where we're at right now, what I would be looking at would be a pullback, right, to test the previous value area high. And then if we break below the value area high, you have this nice range to be looking at for context, right? So you could look for this golden pocket is null and void. No, not null and void, but it is, this level did change slightly. So what I would do here is I would look at this 786 value area low as support. Golden pocket POC would be support as well. I would much prefer to see it come down to the 786 though. But once you get below this value area high, you could expect lower prices potentially, bringing you to the value area low 786. Excuse me. Oh, there's Rob. Let's go. Shout out to Rob. Said, IT department here. Have you tried turning it on and off? Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. And Dave Digital says, he said, Rob put his notice at the beginning of the stream, Frankie. He said he just can't work in an environment where he's not heard. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Shout out to Dave Digital. I think Dave is trying to come in. Rob, I'd be careful. I think Dave is faking your resignation. I think he's looking for one of those real wrenches. Which I'll be honest, I think Dave's fake unofficial official wrench is the most official wrench there is out there. So shout out to Dave Digital, bro. All right, let's continue on. Let's see. I'll send a remote hard reset to the keyboard. Thank you, Rob. Absolutely legendary. I appreciate you so much, bro. But let's go ahead and contact us again if this didn't fix the issue. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you. 5 out of 5 star review for the tech support. Shout out to Rob. But let's continue on here. Yo, you guys are hilarious. So we looked at XRP. We looked at ETH. We looked at HBAR. Let's take a look at Gala. A lot of people are asking to look at Gala. Okay. All right. Okay. It is weird, right? Like I type a letter and then it types it the same exact amount of times every time. Someone said check your drivers? That might be correct. Okay, let's continue on here and take a look at Gala, or Gala, as some people call it. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at the KuCoin chart. All right. Tony D, we might do a Frankie Candles field trip to Micro Center tomorrow. All right. Let's see here. This is not Gala. Let me type. There we go. Okay, Gala, Binance, Tether US. So finally, guys, I'm not going to... let's see. Let me pull the... What's the XC chart look like? All right, well, I'll just look at this in... we'll just start a new chart here, right? So technically, your bear market range for me, right, in my opinion for Gala, was down here, right? And what happened? We have, since then, broken above the value area high, and we are starting to get a move up. Question is, how high can we go? Well, to find that out, guys, I'm going to pull up the VPVR, or the visible range volume profile. And I'm going to turn off the value area high, value area low POC, and let's zoom in a bit here. So, as we let this volume fix itself here, you guys can see that most of the volume, at least within this price action, most of the volume is occurring down here in that bear market range. So, as we break out of this volume profile, simply put, this is our kind of next level that we're playing with right now. Once we flip this to support, potentially, let me get rid of these. Kind of hard to say here, just because I can't get like a clear read on the volume here because it's so little. But let me come down to something like the daily, get a little bit more of a granular view of this volume. Come on. Okay. All right. Yeah. Just really, let me take this out of the equation to make this more relevant. Dang. Is this not, like there's just no volume up here? Come on. Is everything okay? Is there any volume up here? That's not going to matter. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and pull this range manually. So let's see. This is the 2021. Let me just bear with me while I pull this range, guys. Bada boom. Bada bing. So I would mark these levels out. Value area high, value area low. Boom. 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 And yeah, so what do we have here, guys? Quick move down, violent move down. Once we get back into that zone, which arguably could be just above this high volume node, right? Or just above these previous highs that we have here. Of course, I can't draw a horizontal line with the keyboard. Why would I think I could do that? So there you go. Fast move down. Then we got some consolidation. Once we break above this level, we could see another fast move up, right? And there's kind of two ranges I would be looking at here, right? This one being the kind of technical bull market high, right? And then you kind of have this other wonky range right here, which is obviously going to be very close to your bull market range. Arguably, you could, arguably just include this to make it a little bit easier to understand, but then it throws your whole range off, in my opinion. So for that reason, no, actually, I will take this bigger range. You could look at it either way. I want to be clear. You could look at this either way, but I would look at this as a bigger range like this, right? So you have your POC and your value area low, right? So if we break above this level, probably going to be a pretty quick move up to your key level, previous value area high, sitting at 1644. So value area low, POC, and your value area high. So there you go. Once you break above this level, not a lot of volume in here. Could be a quick move to the upside up to your next key level, which again, at 1644. Once you break above that, you have your value area above to look at for context. Now, take a look at the higher time frames on Gala. Obviously, this was one of those coins that we were looking at that have not broken out of their range yet. And obviously, when we were looking at it, it was before it broke out of its range. Now it has broken out of its range. But look at your weekly money flow has not even crossed over into the green yet, right? Still looking to cross over into the green, somewhat soon, but it has not happened yet. So this could arguably mean that there is much more upside to be had for Gala. And, just to kind of go back, I know I've shown this a million times, but these weekly money flow crossovers are typically what wind up giving you the big moves, right? Of course, I can't make a vertical line. Well, now it lets me do a vertical line. But obviously, weekly money flow crossover occurred here. Big move to the upside, right? Look at something like Link. We do this all the time, right? Weekly money flow crossover into the green. Big move to the upside. So Gala might be in a situation where it's about to do the same thing, but it just hasn't gotten that move up yet. So once you get that weekly money flow crossover, maybe you get the big move up to that next key level of 1644. So there you go. Shout out to Golden, said, Frankie, don't forget to give the details of the BTC giveaway. And if you guys did not know, we are giving away 0.02 Bitcoin. And let's actually just go ahead and do that right now. Let me pull up, I don't want to pull up the premium Discord and leak any premium sauce here by accident. But let me go ahead and pull up how to enter the giveaway, guys. So here we are. So to enter the giveaway, guys, let me come into the, you got to be in the free Discord, right? Go to the announcement section. And, Tony, did Tony move this? Oh, no, it's in giveaways. That's my fault. So if you come to the free Discord, go to the giveaway section. Here are all the details to get into the actual giveaway. Basically, and I gotta click all these because I have OCD. I'm just kidding. I don't really have OCD, but it just bothers me. Anyway, this is everything you need to know to get into that giveaway, guys. Simply put, you gotta be in the dining room, right? The winners will be picked from the actual dining room. If you do not know how to get into the dining room, well, there's written instructions in that giveaway, post, but simply put, you just have to come to the unlock access portion of the dining room, sign up with one of our exchange affiliates, just click one of these links, create an account, and then once you create that account, give about 48 to 72 hours, and then come back in to the dining room, click whatever exchange you signed up with. Say it was Bing X. Shout out to Bing X. Highly recommend. But you just put your user ID information here, click submit, and then you're into the giveaway. You have an opportunity to win 0.02 Bitcoin, which at this point, it was about, I can't type because my keyboard's broken, so never mind. If somebody could give me the, actual price of 0.02 Bitcoin right now, then you'll know how much Bitcoin it is, but I can't type. So anyway, but that's how you get in. If you guys have any questions, just simply come into the giveaway section of the free Discord and just read the instructions. If you do everything in here, you will be totally good. You have to read the whole thing though. You have to make sure, a lot of people, we get a lot of questions of people not being able to get in, and a lot of people just don't read the whole thing. So you just got to make sure you read this whole thing. If you have any issues after reading this whole thing, you can reach out to the mods and they'll be able to help you get in there. But simply put, long story short, get into the dining room and just go to unlock access. This tells you how to unlock access. So you basically just come here, read the instructions, and then get in. And we will be calling the winner on Friday, guys. Your last opportunity to join is going to be Thursday night at about midnight, right? And then we'll announce the winner on Friday. So there you go. Let's continue on here. Let's see. I don't know what's going on. Shout out to Crimson Caravan Company. I don't know what you are referring to, but shout out to Willy Wonka, I guess. Okay, let's see. Bada boom. Let's see. Okay, so Matic. Yeah, shout out to Matic. Let's take a look at Matic here. Now, guys, as you know, obviously in this Matic long position, pull it up right here. Shout out to Femex, another one of my favorite exchanges. Up about 577%. We've already got locked in profits here. Up almost $12,000. Unrealized, another 3.3K locked in. Entry sitting right here at 78 cents. So this one is riding strong. And, I just talked about recently in the beginning of the stream, the importance of understanding when to hold your winners. Now, this is obviously very important. And one of the big reasons I was looking to hold this winner, guys, was because at about 71 cents, I did enter down here, right? as we were deviating from a local volume profile. I entered in at this low, and then we rode it all the way back up. But one of the reasons why I was looking, I mean, there were many targets that I had for this trade, right? We had a local volume profile that I was looking at, which, to be quite honest with you, at this point, I don't even really remember exactly what range it was. Maybe something like this. Yeah, I don't even remember exactly what range it was, but we had a local range here. I don't remember even exactly what time frame, but anyway, use the same technique I was just going over on all these other coins to enter that long position, and I was looking to potentially ride this thing up, not only to the local volume profile, which was likely up here at about 82, 83 cents, but I was also using the bigger volume profile, meaning this volume profile, as higher targets, right? So not only was I looking for a little run up to about 80 to 81 cents, but we were also saying if we were able to break out of that zone, this was it. It was right here. Does that? No, it doesn't make sense. So my entry was 71 cents. No, my entry is 78 cents. That makes sense. Yeah. So right here, it was this little mini volume profile, guys. Simply put, right here, not only were we getting some bullish divergences as we deviated below that volume profile, right? Lower lows on price, higher lows on your momentum waves. You also have a whole lot of green dots down here. Money flow starting to come to the upside. The idea here at this point, guys, was to enter the long and have it ride us up from the value area low to the POC to the value area high. And on top of this, we were also looking at this kind of wonked out head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? But anyway, this is how I use the multiple volume profiles, right? Looked for the little scalp up to the value area high. We smashed it, right? And then when we zoom out, hey, there's no reason to close this trade. I'm not going to go over exactly why. But at that point, I said, hey, maybe I can hold this thing up to the macro POC or the value area high. And then once we got to that value area high, things looked like they wanted to break out, right? As we were breaking this, we were getting a daily money flow crossover indicating that we were going to get a breakout to our next key level at the value area low of this macro range from up here. Simply put, we came up, flipped that level to support right to the value area low. And at that point, we were saying, hey, all these altcoins are starting to flip their macro value area lows to support and they're all starting to get run-ups through their macro range to their value area high. So at that point, once we started playing with this key level right here at $1.03, which is the macro value area low right here, remember, if we flip this level to support, we're likely going to fill that whole range to the upside. Once we started playing around with this level and peeking our head above here, this is where I said, you know what? I'm going to hold this trade, treat it as a swing long, and expect the whole rest of this volume profile to fill out. And where are we, guys? Simply put, the volume profiles are absolutely overpowered. It's insane. You come up, rejection, rejection, you get back in to the POC, flip the POC, now we're running for the value area high. So next target for Matic, in my own personal opinion, is going to be that $1.28 level. Now, if we get to that value area high and we start breaking out in a big way and we start flipping this level to support and we get a bigger move up, the next targets are simply going to be in the context of the macro volume profile. POC sitting at $1.46. This is a major, major level to watch. Right here. Macro POC. I'm actually going to custom label this one. Oh, no. Why did I decide to use the keyboard? Guys, I'm getting bullied by my keyboard. Okay, macro POC, major target, major target. Once we break above that, next key level, macro value area high, $1.94, creeping up on $2. So if we remain above this key value area low at $1.03, even if we correct all the way back down to this value area low, as long as we hold this level, guys, we are going to be expecting the POC at $1.46 and potentially the value area high at $1.94. Simply put, that's what I'm looking at on Matic. Still holding my long. I said this earlier today and still haven't done it. There you go. We were just up 11. Now we're up 12.2K. Not too bad. And one more time, guys, I do just want to point out, I am not in like a, sure, it is a $20,000 position. I've already taken 50% off this trade. So it was originally a $40,000 position. Now it's a $20,000 position. But I want to be clear, guys. You don't necessarily need 20K to put on a day trade to make money. I only have $2,000 of my own money in this trade. I am on 10x leverage, so that makes it a $20,000 position. Do not use leverage if you do not know what you're doing. I know it's very enticing, but once you learn how to actually use leverage to your advantage as you should use it, not as a gambling outlet, but as a risk management tool and a way to amplify your capital in a responsible way. You can turn 2K, right? Or like I said, originally this was 4K. Now it's only 2K. But you could turn, say, 4K into, this is almost up 16 grand, right? So, and this is not a, I didn't have to find an altcoin gem. I was thinking about this the other day. This is like one of the coolest things about trading, guys, because usually you're stuck under the constraints of a bull market to make a ton of money in crypto. This is why, right, most people are going to come into the market. Most people are going to lose their money, right? Some people will make money. But even the people who make money, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but you are not a slave, but you are you can only make money if things are going up. This is why I like being a trader, because I didn't want to just come into a crypto, make a little bit of money and leave, right? I wanted to replace my full-time job. I wanted to replace having to live within the confines of a normal life, and I wanted to learn how to make money whether the price was going up or down without having to be a slave to the bull market, right? And, I didn't need, I don't know what this is. I'm not going to do the math, but let's say this is like a 4X or a 5X on my money. I didn't need to catch an altcoin that 5X'd. I simply just rode Matic on, and just to be clear here, this was only really from 78 cents to where we are right now is only a 60% move in real life. But because we're using leverage, I was able to catch that 5X, whatever it was. And you don't need to catch that next altcoin gem. Just learn what you're looking at on the charts, and any altcoin or Bitcoin, even Bitcoin, right? You can get multiple times on your money on a small Bitcoin move if you just understand the skill of reading the charts and understanding where price is going to go next. And then you can add leverage in there to amplify your gains. And then you're hitting 5Xs, 10Xs left and right, rather than just trying to like buy an altcoin and hold it in a super risky situation. So super cool, right? Like everyone's like, what's the next 5X, 10X, 20X, 100X gem? And I just say, learn how to trade, because even when things dump in the bear market, it's the same exact thing, right? Like, look at this. Matic in a bull market, absolutely insane gains. But then the bear market comes. All the gains are lost. But if you just simply invert the dang chart, right? This whole bear market is a parabolic bull run, right? Because we make money whether the price is going up or down. So just like when you're making money in the bull market, when the bear market comes, this is basically just a parabolic move, right? We're just making money as it goes down. It's the same thing, right? So, and that's why I always say, like, most people who make money in crypto won't keep their money, right? They're going to lose their money, right? Because not only do they likely have no idea how to handle money, but they also develop no skills, right? Like, it's basically like winning the lottery. You don't want to, in my opinion, or at least for me, I don't want to speak for other people. Maybe you do want to just come in, gamble. Maybe you hit 100X. Just so you guys know, hitting 100X in crypto is so much less likely than people realize. And I hate to be the guy to say it. I know it's not sexy. I know this isn't going to get likes on the video. I know this isn't going to make people, like, love me. But it's the truth. Catching 100X in crypto is way harder than people realize. I know a handful of people who have gotten actual 100Xs. And even amongst those people that caught 100Xs, a lot of them didn't have their lives changed because they're taking small bets on a meme coin. But there's nothing wrong about coming in here as part of the fun, right? Speculating on an altcoin, especially meme coins, are just like you're in it for the meme. It's fun. And you can make crazy money. But what happens after that? Let's say you make $1 million. You can't retire on $1 million for the most part, right? Unless you choose a specific lifestyle. Maybe you can make that last over the rest of your life. But if you're young and you make $1 million, $1 million isn't what it used to be, right? So you hit the lottery. You basically played the lottery. You won. You made $1 million. Now what? If you are not extremely, also take taxes out of that. Capital gains tax is ridiculous. Take about half of that almost, right? Now you're only left for a few $100 grand. You have to think to yourself, great, you're way richer than you used to be, but now what, right? You have developed no skills, right? You might have learned about blockchain. You might have learned about crypto, but you've developed no actual skills to make money. Right? You didn't build a business. You didn't learn an actual skill that's repeatable over time to continue to make you money, like trading. So if you're here in crypto and you want to make this a permanent thing, and after the next year or so, when we end the bull market, if it ends, right, which it likely will, if you want to stay here and continue to make money and learn a skill and develop it over time to continually pay yourself and become a profitable trader so you can actually quit your job and continue to make money in crypto, it may be hard, but if you can learn how to do this, you can catch those 5Xs, 10Xs just on your leverage trades. You can continuously do this forever, right? Or, assuming that forever happens, you can actually make this a skill and make money over time. And this is how you can fire your boss. This is how you can build wealth over time, right? And this isn't just like winning the lottery. It's repeatable, and you see it every day right here on the YouTube channel. So you guys can do this too. Please understand that. So you got to ask yourself. I'm not saying one way is right, one way is wrong. I'm just saying I chose to be a trader because I wanted to keep doing this. I didn't want to just get lucky and then, get retirement money and go back to my job. I didn't really like my job, right? Maybe some people do love their job. They just want to do this on the side, and that's totally fine. But if you really want to be here for the long stay, learning how to trade is potentially much more life-changing than hitting a 100x meme coin. Maybe harder, but it's much more beneficial in my opinion. But anyway, let's continue on. Shout out to Kevin Kim. Says, can you take a look at VeChain and Sand? Yes, I sure can. There's Matic. Next targets we're looking at. Let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Dorian. We just looked at H-bar. If you just scrub back a little bit, you will see H-bar. We just went over that. Let's see. Somebody, I don't know, shout out to 12 Big. I don't know what this is in reference to, but he just said, you think Golden cares about fees? He gifts, wait, hang on, where'd it go? Yeah, he said, bro, Golden gifts $1,000 on memberships a day. You think he cares about fees? Shout out to 12 Big. Probably not. But anyway, let's continue on. Shout out to Golden the GOAT. And let's continue on. Yeah, shout out to Shane, said you could have a stuck key. That's definitely what it feels like, brother. Yeah, we could take a look at Link, absolutely. And we can also take a look at VeChain and Sand. Yo, Tony D, thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, boys try to catch 100x. Men trade and earn with the homies. Let's go. Shout out to Tony D. Bro, we got to make some T-shirts or something like that. But let's continue on. Shout out to Andre, shout out to you. I don't know if that's how I pronounce your name, but shout out to you, bro. We can take a look at Link, no problem. This is Matic. I'll take a look at Link, and then we will jump into VeChain and Sandbox. Let's take a look. Okay, so on Link, I mean, we've covered Link a lot on this channel. And again, like, this is just one of those coins that played out with what we were looking for to happen, right? That weekly money flow crossover into the green that I just showed created this big move to the upside as we were breaking out of the bear market range, got that breakout, looked for the value area low, acted as resistance, and then once we got above this level, we were looking for what, guys? We were looking for what? Because I forgot that we actually hit our level. We haven't talked about this, but what were we looking at? Once we flipped this value area low to support, right? What was that next target? Simply put, regardless of all these local levels that we were looking at, the eventual target was this naked point of control or naked daily point of control at $22.31. And what happened, guys? Simply put, we got the breakout of the range, bing bong, right to that naked daily point of control, swing failure, correction to the downside. Key levels of support, simply put, the level I would watch. Come on, please just work. Okay, there we go. Key levels of support, simply put, value area high, golden pocket confluence. This would be an important level to watch in my opinion. Bada boom, bada bing. And then you also have your 786 POC sitting right here. $20.04 and $20.52 are the two key levels locally I would look at to the downside if you get a push down, right? Now, with that being said, basically, although we do have confluence with the golden pocket and the 786, basically I'm just looking at the context of the volume profile. So if we come back down, we break below this level. If we don't hold the fibs, we're going to look to go to the POC and then the value area low. This could be an area to look for scalp longs back to the high, and then if you break out, you can get another ride to the upside. But for the most part, we were looking to hold our key level at about $17, which is the key value area low, doorway to higher prices. As long as we hold above this level, we can easily look for higher prices above the naked point of control on the daily. Next target is a weekly naked point of control at $26.55. And like I said, guys, we may look at these levels, we may look at new levels every single day, and they may continuously get hit. But I just want everyone to understand there is no guarantee that these levels will continuously get hit. We're not going to be right forever. We're not going to be right every single time. But I'm just showing I'm showing what the charts are saying, right? I'm just the messenger. Whether we get there or not is another story. But again, when you have these key targets, it may take time, right? It may be messy. We always say this. The value areas may be messy. You might come up, down, up, but eventually you look for those key targets to get taken. And once you flip that $22 level or $22.30 level to support, next key level is $26.55. And then after that, again, eventually it's just a journey. It'll look like just a journey, right? Whether you come back down, up, whatever happens, you are going to be looking for this to come up to the value area high at 31.40. So that would be the end target. And remember, all this is the volume profile from the bull market range, right? We've already seen Ethereum fill its entire bull market range. So you might be looking at this and be like, yo, what is this guy just randomly saying this range is going to fill? Ethereum has done this, right? Bitcoin has also, I know it's a lot here, but you see the range here. Bitcoin has also done this, right? So this is, and we've had a lot of the altcoins begin their journeys, right to the value area low for Dogecoin. If this thing continues to bullishly consolidate, which you could argue this is, next real target on Dogecoin would be 26 cents because that's where the POC is, right? Once you flip this value area low to support, you're going to look for that POC to get hit. And I know it might seem crazy, right? Like calling for, say, a 42-cent Doge might seem crazy. But eventually, we're likely to get to these levels. And the volume profiles allows us to know when these moves will happen. And there's actually, it was at near, there was a coin recently that I was just looking at saying, hey, if we wind up holding support on a value area low, it could be a good place to look for a new long position. Oh, LPT, this is it, right? Now, I didn't share this with the stream, right? I shared this with the premium live stream. LPT, this is a live pool, I believe it is. It is it plays on the D-pin narrative, but this was, right, we got to move above our value area low, a correction to the value area low, right? Broke above the value area low into the POC, rejected the POC, got to pull back to the low. This is why I say that this is the key level of support you need to hold, right? Because this is the macro value area low. And if you hold this level, the next likely place for price to go is going to be that POC, which we've already seen happen here. If you go down to a lower time frame, let's say the 1 hour, you could see, I know it looks like we just shot through it, but indeed, we did get above this level, slipped it, and then flipped it to support. At that moment, you're looking for this to go to the value area high. This is a very likely outcome when you see these setups present themselves. And again, going back to what I was just saying, imagine if you could get this comfortable with the charts, saying, hey, once we flip this level, especially, it's not just the volume profile, right? I'm also analyzing market cipher. I'm also looking at Lux Algo. I'm also reading order flow. There's other things I'm doing here. However, once you get comfortable with these charts, guys, and you're able to comfortably say, hey, usually when we flip these value area lows to support, more often than not, we do get a move up to the POC. Once you get comfortable with this fact, this is where you could start to say to yourself, well, hey, maybe even though this altcoin isn't going to, 5x or 10x, when we get to the POC, a 50% move. Remember this, guys, I am multiple X's up on my Matic long, and Matic only moved 60%. And I'm up like whatever. Multiple X on my money, right? But Matic didn't 5X, 4X, whatever it is, right? It's just because I use leverage. And for LPT, very similar, right? Very confident hold of support here. You'd be likely to go to the POC. And then once you get the correction, you know this is key support. And once you decisively lose this level, you can expect more downside. But if you hold it, which would be expected, this is where you could look for the POC and a potential flip of support of the POC for a much, 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 much higher move up, potentially up to the value area high. So, with that being said, this is key support. And what happens? You hold it, you get a move to the POC and beyond. But anyway, this is not an LPT analysis, but let's go ahead and let's go back here a little bit. But the value areas are absolutely overpowered, guys. It really is insane. And that's why I teach it every single day for free, because I think it really will, it can really, expedite a lot of people's trading journeys. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's continue on. So for Link, for the most part, again, just waiting for those higher prices to get hit. Let's take a quick look at VeChain. Okay, come on, keyboard, you could do it. Bada boom, bada bing. So here we are on VeChain. Very, very similar situation, right? Come up to the daily. Here's your not bull market range, right? Yeah, remember we have these magnets on VeChain. I'm going to keep them here. I'm going to move them over a little bit. I'm going to keep these here. Value area high is a magnet. We literally did this to be like, guys, it might take a long time. And this was before I think we were even in this value area. But we said, hey, This value area high is likely to act as a magnet because not only is it the value area high, but it's also your macro 786 retracement. So first stop would be to flip the value area low to support, get a move, obviously, to these key levels right here, daily naked point of control and POC of the range. Because remember, when you break it down to elementary levels, or very simply, you break above, hold this as support, you're then expecting the POC to come in. We obviously have the daily naked point of control above, which we know will act as a magnet, so not shocking to see that level hit as well. Once we flip this level to support, next key level, golden pocket sitting at 0.06 cents, right, or 0.060, and then the top of the golden pocket's at 0.063-ish. But in the grand scheme of things, guys, get rid of this, zoom out. We're looking to potentially get sucked up to this value area high. So next key level, definitely going to be your golden pocket. If you get above your golden pocket, looking for that 786 value area high at about 7 cents. So VeChain could go on a nice little run there. VeChain was one of those coins I did well with in the last bull market. Rode this thing up, I think, from 3 cents. 2 to 3 cents, I believe, was when, it's 2020. Yeah, 2 to 3 cents is when I was buying VeChain. Watch that thing run all the way up to about 27 cents. Insane. One of my best performers of last year, just because I think I wound up getting in super early. No leverage on that one either. But again, once you break above this, let's get to this value area high first. But just for fun, once you break that level, not only would you be breaking out of your value area high, but you'd also be breaking above your macro value area low, which could open the door up to about 11 and potentially 17.5 cents. So pretty exciting there on VeChain. Obviously going to be dependent on, reliant on everything remaining bullish, right? You do have a green dot on the daily, so maybe we can make a run for that golden pocket pretty soon, sitting at about 0.0603 cents. So there you go. Shout out to Kevin Kim. Hopefully that helps you out with your VeChain position or trade or whatever. Shout out to Kevin Kim. And speaking of Kevin Kim, let's take a real quick look at Sand. I think I might have to type it 7 times. Okay. All right. Everybody calm down. Mad A's in the chat. Sand. There we go. All right. Let's take a look here. Binance USD. And let's take a look here. Sandbox, something we have not really looked at much recently. But I will say this. Let's pull our macro golden pocket. Turn off the magnet. Okay. From the high to the bear market low, about right there. Let's pull the range. Bada boom. Okay. All right. So, obvious major target here, guys, is going to be that value area high golden pocket. Nothing really too shocking there. Obviously, you're going to also have your value area low. And we're up very far away from this stuff, right? So I'm going to give you local levels as well. But obviously, the eventual target for Sandbox would be up here, upwards of $2.42. And I will say this, right? Let's pull our bear market range like this. I mean, you could even pull it back a little further if you wanted to. But this thing is technically still in its bear market range. I'm sorry. Right? So, oh my God, what is going on? Why can't I just do things? Why are you bullying me right now? What is going on? Why is this happening to me? What is this? Am I tripping right now? Am I getting pranked? Am I literally getting pranked right now? Okay. Yo, what is going on? I think this is my computer. I'll be honest with you guys. This computer is an absolute lemon. Yeah, I don't know. This thing is broken. Broken. Yeah. Dude, I can't do anything. Okay, this works. I can't touch OBS. I can't change scenes. Interesting. Hopefully I'm still live. Oh, it is a stuck key. That is 100% what it is. All right, guys. My control key is stuck down. I'm going to make a move here. If the stream ends, there was a catastrophic failure. I'm just going to kind of just give it a couple little taps, couple little love taps. Didn't work. Okay. All right. Let's see. There we go. I fixed it. Bada boom. We got a sticky key. Who said it was a sticky key? I forgot who said it, but shout out to you. I guess you were 100% right. Tony said that's a hardware issue. Get a new keyboard. Shout out to Tony T. But yeah, I actually got to talk to you, Tony, about the issues I had earlier today. May or may not be a hardware issue. I have no idea, but it's definitely not supposed to happen. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, let's see. Let's take a quick look at sand. Oh, my God. Okay. Binance Tether US. Nope. Good Lord. Okay. Let's see. Binance US dollar. There we go. Okay. So off log now. Everything is just, oh, we're on the wrong chart. There we go. So this is late to the party, guys. Sandbox has not broken out of its bear market range. You could argue this is somewhat of a head and shoulders type formation. Could give you a move to the upside. But let's take a look at the weekly time frame because this is kind of the real thing that will, in my opinion, give us the move. Yeah. Once that weekly money flow crosses into the green, guys, just like a lot of these other altcoins that have already broken out, we could see this be the start of that push to the upside, flip that value area high to support, and that's likely where the bigger move will start, bringing us targeting that $2.42 value area low. Now, you do also have this kind of range sitting right here, and this is going to be a zone of resistance. It's kind of a very tight range, so I'm not going to mark out all three levels. I'm just going to use this as like a zone. Likely you do have fib confluence in that as well. Not really. But, you're probably going to get some resistance on this POC as well as this whole range. But once you get above that, that's where you start the quick move up to about $2.42. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. This keyboard is just getting worse and worse as we speak. I might just head to Best Buy right now and just go grab another keyboard so I'll do tomorrow. But, guys, with all that being said, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Thank you all for tuning in till the very, very end. So we took a look at all the altcoins as well as Bitcoin, which, by the way, is starting to pull back just a little bit here. It's basically still just ranging around. But are we going to see that that $73,000 level hit? Potentially. One of the big things I would look at for that to come in, guys, will be the daily green dot on market cipher B. If we get that green dot, in my opinion, which we did not print here, we may be able to print it in another 28 minutes. But if we do print it tonight, guys, I would expect that to potentially give us a bigger move up towards that $73,000 level, as well as the higher targets that we looked at. If you're saying, Frankie Candles, what higher targets are you talking about? Go scrub to the beginning of the live stream and check out those levels. Super, super saucy levels, in my opinion. So with all that being said, shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you all for hanging in here. Sorry about the keyboard issues. We'll get those fixed right now. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. New keyboard. Who dis? That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving it energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Okay, I forgot who it was, but somebody asked me for a quick look at Cody. Let's take a look at it. Now, you are actually pretty interestingly enough, on Cody, you actually have already gotten the breakout of that bear market range. Pretty significant breakout. You've actually Technically, depending on how you pull this bull market range, I would pull it probably from here for now. You've gotten the breakout of your bear market range. Quick move through your low volume gap, which I can see right here, not only due to this big candle, but also you can also see this due to your lack of volume on the profile here. You have a high volume node, obvious high volume nodes down here, with a nice little lack of volume in the middle, giving you that quick move to the upside as you would expect if you watch the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. But we have come up to test that previous value area low, guys. Not only the value area low, but also that 786 Fibonacci retracement level. So this would be technically considered a significant level of resistance. And if we do get a rejection, you may get a pullback here. But as soon as you're able to get a move back above this value area low and flip that 786 to support, let me take that back. What I would really do is I would probably be combining this POC in that major level of resistance, just because it's so close to your value area low here. So if you get above that 786, really what I would say is you got to get above the POC, just because everything's just kind of clustered down here. So I would just like to see a clear of this entire range, or by range I mean like zone of support. So once you get above not only the 786, but also the POC of the range at about 31 cents, and you flip that to support, that's where I'd expect your next move up to the value area high, sitting at 54 cents. Quick and dirty on Cody. Maybe we'll go a little deeper in it on tomorrow's live stream. But with all that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Mafia, I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us the whole time. Shout out to Golden for gifting all those memberships. Shout out to everybody who super chatted. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. New keyboard. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out.